Okay, obviously just left a very disappointed locker room. Got to give UAB a lot of credit for the way they were able to perform in the first half. They got a big head start on us, obviously, going into halftime with pretty big deficit. They made a couple big plays. We had 75-yard touchdown by Lucky called back on a holding call. Those kind of things are killers, which would have made it a different scenario, certainly. Great blocked punt by Solomon to lead to a touchdown pass. So there's some special teams things right there that you're proud of. Obviously, we put the fake reverse in there at the end of the game to try and get something going with Lucky and Dijon back there. But unfortunately, from a special team standpoint, you get a blocked field goal and you have a muffed punt. Those are detrimental errors and things that we've got to not put on the field and not put on tape to give us a chance to win against a much improved UAB team. Coach Clark deserves a ton of credit for what he's been able to do there. He's really got that team fighting and believing, and they got an early head start on it, us, and it was a chance for us to fight back. Proud of the kids for that. These kids continue to show character and continue to fight as we build this program, and that's something that we will continue to build on. Their defense made it tough for us in the first half. They played a lot of man coverage, had hands on our receivers, made the throws very challenging for Quez, and I think it was, if I remember right, 8 for 18-ish at the half, and they were doing a good job. They had tight coverage, and like I said, they were being physical with the receivers. We talked about the 75-yard touchdown they got called back. Defensively, they were able to drive down on us in their first drive. Then they hit number 1 on an 80-yard touchdown, and that kid was fast. We knew he was dangerous. He's every bit as fast as Lucky, and he showed it on that play. And again, you talk about the second half. UAB drove with 4 minutes left and was able to kick a field goal and started to use timeouts to at least give us a chance there to get the ball back. And I'm proud of the way the kids fought. We're not where we want to be at this point. We've got to continue to get better every day. But I am proud of the fact that the kids fight, want to get better, and want to build this program to where it should be. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Just couldn't stop him on the last drive. 12 runs, fatigue? What do you think it was?
7 is a good back. There's no question about that. They did a nice job mixing up the runs. I think fatigue probably did come into it a little bit. We had a couple cramping issues tonight that, got to take a look at what our hydration plan didn't change. Nothing there was different. So there probably was some fatigue issues there, Brian, but a lot of credit goes to them too. Their back number 7 is a good player. He was top 20 in the nation coming in. I don't know what he ended up with tonight, but he's a powerful back and a good football player. Like I said, they were mixing their plays up as far as the runs, from zones to counters to a nice little toss to the short side, and they were denying our backers from getting over the top, which made it challenging. So a number of different things, but fatigue could have been a factor.
How disappointing is it to know that you guys have just had this continuing pattern of falling behind early in the first half, especially here at home?
Well, the positive thing is these kids fight in the second half. That's where I'm going to take from that. We've got to fix things that give up points early in the game or at any point in the game. The good thing is our kids, they come back in the third and fourth quarter. We make adjustments. Coaches did a great job again tonight of continuing to make adjustments, and it was a tie ball game. And I don't know that anyone in the stadium anticipated it being a tie ball game other than the people on our sideline, quite honestly. And there was a point there where I looked at Quez and I said, I want to call for the extra point team before 10 minutes when we started that drive, and we crossed the goal line at 9:59. So these kids have a good spirit about them. The program is stabilizing, and we're going to get to the point where we're not spotting teams 7, 14 points early in games.
Did you make changes on the offensive line in the second half at all?
No, we didn't. No, we still had Mike and Joe. Mike at the left guard and Reggie and Joe and Dylan, and we still had the rotation at the right tackle spot happening. So no, that's really what we've been living in right now. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you're talking about the right tackle? Yeah, we've been rotating the last few weeks.
Buddy Howell's injury?
Right now, have not talked to the doctors, but initial is it's a hamstring, so don't know the severity of it yet. Won't know until get a full report from the doctors.
From your vantage point on the punt to Lucky Whitehead, was there some wind? Did the lights get in his eyes? And then also, can you, on back end of that, talk about how he bounced back, getting the touchdown?
Yeah, very, very proud of him for bouncing back. First off, talking about the punt, looked like you know, it was windy tonight. Now, the wind had died down a little bit by that point, but it looked like he misjudged it a little bit. That was not my focus when I talked to Lucky. My focus was on helping him get his spirits back up. But from what you saw on the field, looked like he misjudged it, got ahead of it a little bit, got caught backing up. And that's what happened on the muff punt with him. And he's a guy I trust. I have no problem continuing to put him back there. So that will remain the same. I mean, he's a powerful weapon. And when I talked to him after that, it was all about, listen, Lucky, mistakes happen. We believe in you. Just get your spirits back up and let's go, because we're going to find a way to get into this game.
You guys have to run the table now to have a shot at the ball.
Yeah.
Was that the talk in the locker room about that?
Definitely did discuss that. Discuss the fact that would love to give that opportunity to our seniors who have not experienced that. That we do have to win out to be bowl eligible. ECU losing today certainly helps Marshall's cause to be in a bowl outside of our Conference USA's commitments, which helps your potential for a bowl spot if we do end up being 6-6. And you know, with the improvement that we've made, we're a good football team. Our record doesn't reflect where we really are, and that's part of it at times. So as we continue to build and get to the direction that we are going, you can see it on the field. I would love to give these kids a chance to experience a bowl, but quite honestly, in the picture of where this program is going, I'd love to have 10 to 15 more practices to develop. So there's that talk was definitely had in the locker room.
Was Trey Henderson, was he one of the kids that got little cramps, or did he have anything after the game?
Trey Hendrickson?
Yeah.
No, not that I'm aware of, no.
Somebody before he came off the field, a little hobbly, but
No, nothing that I'm aware of, but there could be something I get updated on. Nothing that the trainers alerted that said Hendrickson was not available. So he did earlier in the game. He had something where they had to, you know, he got scraped in the eye a little bit, but that was earlier. No, he came back and he was fine.
Awful lot of extracurricular talking, it seemed like, going on out there. Are you happy with the way your guys handled it?
To a degree. There was a time or two where the ref had to get in between them. I think we handled ourselves pretty well. We talked about it. I was actually warned about it from Arkansas's staff, that was a potential challenge for tonight. And for the most part, the kids handled it well and handled it with class, which is what we want.
I think maybe you put, with the struggles in the first half, maybe too much of an emphasis on trying to develop a run. And that kind of slowed you down a little bit.
You know, I think about the first quarter, actually, to be honest with you, Chuck, and I have to go back and see the film. There was a time or two that we threw it, and the wind in the first quarter was legitimate. I mean, I couldn't give you a miles per hour, but it made passing a challenge. So there was a time or two when we had the wind in our face in the first quarter taking the ball. So there was a time or two I'd hoped we'd run it a couple more. But hindsight's always 20/20 when you look back at it. They were packing the box. They were getting hands on our receivers. It was challenging to run or throw the ball until we found our rhythm and forced them into some other things, some even coverages that lighten the box. But we have to establish the run. That's something we're going to continue to fight to do here, and I think that first quarter would like to have honestly seen the run game pressed a little more.
Is that a defense that should be able to hold any team 46 yards and a half?
Is that a defense? You know,
Are they that good, or I mean?
You know, the 75-yard touchdown certainly affects that stat that got called back, right, when we got the holding calls. So, but that would only take us up to, 110 or whatever it is. Tonight they were.
Thank you.
Thank you.